previous meetings I've had within the office, from private industry, technology folks have suggested to me that they require registration of the product that the individuals purchased, and then share that information with the FAA as a way to track, as a way to track or have a database where you can track use in the event of a violation. Have you heard that from private industry?
We have a number of initiatives that private industry has put forth to help in this effort, including informational paperwork in the packaging itself. The Secretary himself has indicated that he thinks registration may be one of the answers to part of this problem, and we are evaluating that as an option for all UAS.
Yeah, in conjunction with private industry, because most times when you buy a piece of technology these days, anyway, or if you buy a toaster, you register your product online for warranty purposes, as a for instance. So people do this all the time. But yeah, the concept that you would then share that would be shared though with an agency might cause some caution. But this is an idea that's coming out of private industry.
And I think we would have to work closely with industry to decide the best way forward for that. We would not be set up to take this level of registration data, and we want to make sure it's accessible if we do that, and also that it can be used for law enforcement purposes.
Right, right. Can you talk a little more about coordination between agencies, maybe with USFS, or an example happened in my district, we have orca pods in the Puget Sound and San Juan Islands. They're a big driver of tourism, of the tourism economy up there, but people have to comply with the Marine Mammal Protection Act. U.S. Fish and Wildlife fined an aerial photographer for violating the MMPA, that is getting too close to the orca pods, which then he put this aerial photography and video up on his website to advertise himself, basically showing everyone how he violated the MMPA, and then was fined for that. Is that something that runs across your desk, FAA, or can you talk a little bit about how you coordinate with agencies?
We have a large number of ways that we coordinate. Under the DoD authorization, there's an XCOM that meets on UAS that includes DHS, DoD, FAA, and NASA. We have an interagency group that meets quarterly that includes those agencies plus Commerce and others to talk about NextGen as well as UAS. We have a facility that we run at headquarters that's 24/7 monitoring of events in the NAS, and we coordinate with law enforcement agencies through that. And DHS has taken the lead on security issues focused on the Capitol, but also airport environments. And they run that, and we participate in that. So there are really a huge number of fora that we participate in to have that interagency coordination.
Yeah, good. Mr. Hansen, I've had a chance to meet a couple of members. Your District 9 VP is Chuck Bauer, and then Ken Woblik is the president of the Whidbey Island Radio Control folks there, and they've attended a few town halls, so I want to commend you on your grassroots organizing on this issue. But on that perspective, from a local perspective, how would your members look at registration of UAS purchases and using that as a database for enforcement in the event of an incursion, a potential violation?
Well, I believe our members understand that registration at some level certainly makes sense. And I think it needs to be understood that there's a broad spectrum of platforms that are being called drones.
Right.
And the vast majority, I'm going to guess somewhere around 2/3 of the numbers that we've been hearing today are really what we would put in the toy category. Yeah. They have a very short lifespan, and they have limited ability to accommodate the type of technology that we're talking about. So as long as we're identifying the proper threshold where registration starts to make sense, I think they'd be very acceptant of that. It's also important to know that they're used to a similar type of process within our community. Every member is required to put their AMA number or their name and address within their aircraft. That's for a number of reasons. Hopefully, if it gets lost, we're hoping somebody will return it to us. But beyond that, it also helps identify the owner-operator for accountability purposes.
Yeah, I'll just end on that point. I was noting yesterday with staff that crabbing industry is big in Washington State as well, and you've got to put your name and address and a contact number on your crab pot buoy in case it gets loose or in case someone steals it. But you have to do this because you need to be held accountable, and so it's the same kind of deal. Yes, Mr. Lobiondo, did you have a question for him?
You could have drones monitor the crab pots.
That's next.
That's next. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Larsen. Mr. Young.